Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Channel. I'm here with ESCP Business School and we're going to be talking about the MSc in Biopharmaceutical Management. In order to do so, I have the pleasure to welcome the Academic Director, Frédéric Jallat, and one of his former students, Alumnus 2024, Guillaume Bernard. They are both here to answer my question, but first let's start with the pitch. The pitch, Frédéric, 60 seconds to tell us all the things that we need to know. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Guillaume. So I will present the master program in Biopharmaceutical Management ESCP Business School as a very well-established first-in-class, really focused program in life sciences and healthcare. And in order to be memorized, I would like to have 4 times the magic number of 4, which means that the existence of the program is 4 times 10 years, that we have 1/4 of 10,000 alumni, that we have 4 fields of expertise, namely biotech, medtech, health tech, and data science in healthcare, and that we offer our students 4 fields of knowledge expertise and 4 major tracks, namely marketing and medical affairs, finance, venture capital, private equity, as demonstrated by Guillaume, entrepreneurship in life science and healthcare as well. And then the last is consulting, big data, transformation management, and leadership.
All right, and you are 2 in here, and it's like 4 divided by 2. That could be another 4 that we could use. What do we do before integrating? Well, that's what we're going to discover through the admissions. First, Frédéric, I'd like to ask you, it's called Biopharmaceutical Management. Does it differ from any other kind of management?
Yes, absolutely. My impression would be that at least in terms of regulation, innovation, financial life cycle, but Guillaume would be the expert. You have many peculiarities, not speaking, of course, about the competitive environment, and the fact that those industries are very global by nature.
How did you know, Guillaume, that you needed to go through an MSc during your academic trajectory? Sorry.
So for me, it came later during my academic career. After my PhD, I did a PhD back in 2012 to 2017. I was in Australia, did my PhD in bioinformatics, and then I did 2 postdocs in France, here at Sorbonne University and École Normale Supérieure. And after that, I wanted to do something that has more impact, and by talking to people, some of them were in VC, in venture capital, and they told me, if you want to join a venture capital firm or do more finance, it would be great to have a degree from business school, because you will learn a lot of things that it will take you longer to learn outside of a business school. That's how I came to think about doing a program like that.
And like you said, there's a business school and there is ESCP Business School. What made you choose ESCP specifically?
The ESCP specifically because this program was specifically tailored for life science. It's a rare program. And I knew that life science is a peculiar environment, it's very unique. So you need to have a precise set of knowledge and expertise to succeed in that field. And I thought that program was perfectly designed for that. And I talked with alumni of the program and that convinced me even more.
All right. So Guillaume has a PhD. You do have a PhD. Are you looking for any specific academic background, specifically PhDs, or not especially?
No, not especially. I just wanted to emphasize the fact that since the program is very scientific by nature, it's always very good to have people that know very well, that have a life science background, if you wish. So I'm looking for pharmacists, PhDs in life sciences, medical doctors, veterinarian, dentist surgeon, biotech engineers, more and more IT engineers as well, since of course big data and data science is becoming bigger and bigger in the life science as well. So I would say, yes, the large majority of our students have a strong life science or healthcare background. Despite the fact that we have people coming from business schools, from Sciences Po, for example, that we have a lawyer. It's better that those lawyers are specialized in santé, in life science and healthcare. But yes, the large majority, the sector being so peculiar and so complex, are from life science and healthcare background.
Have you faced any kind of difficulties during the admission process?
During the admission process?
Yes.
Not really.
So the interview was easy. What is it made of? For example, for people preparing for it?
So before the interview, you need to, so there is the process is you have a form, an online form to complete, and then you have a set of questions like, how do you imagine your career trajectory in the next 5 years? This kind of thing. Why do you want to do this program? So you need to have a clear picture of why do you want to apply for this master program, and what is the goal? What is your career goal? And then the interview was with Frederic, and it was a very interesting interview, very friendly. Frederic is a very nice person, and he wanted to understand a bit more about myself personally, something that you can't really see in the interview form, in the document. He wanted to understand if I had a passion for life science and why did I really wanted to do the career change I did. So we had an exchange of about 20-30 minutes. It was very interesting, very nice. I didn't feel any particular problem or difficulties during that interview.
Do you remember any specific questions that might have surprised you, or it was just like a normal conversation, very easygoing? And
it was a normal conversation, very easygoing. I remember one precise conversation because of my career, what I did before. Frederic asked me so you did your PhD in Australia, and that must have been cool. Why did you come back? That was one of his questions. Kind of things.
Would you say you're a nice person for someone facing you and being interviewed?
I think so. And by the way, no, beyond myself, I would say ESCP Business School is famous for that. So we are selective. Obviously, it's a very selective program, but it doesn't mean that we just want to have a kind of, fight and that we expect our students to react to, unexpected questions and so on and so forth. What we want is really to dig in further, as Guillaume emphasized, in the personality and expectations of our students. So it's quite benevolent, it's quite nice, and we don't search for, the killer. We search for people that have a project, for people that have a personality, and to put a long story into short one, two things important. The first one would be how can we nurture the ambitions, passion, and further career of our potential students. And the second one is how can we create a quite balanced well-being among the students that will share the program during the same year. So what we bring, what they bring to us.
All right, so that could be, the first cliche could be you could be demanding and nice at the same time. Well, that's ECP Business School, but what are about the other cliches? Sorry. Guillaume, the cliches are preconceptions that you might have had before applying, once you've applied, regarding ESCP, regarding bioenvironment. Anything that comes to your mind, what would it be?
For me, the first, probably the only one that sticked when I applied and when I joined the program. I remember coming from academia, different atmosphere, totally different, right? And I thought, oh my God, I'm joining a business school. Everybody is going to be wearing a suit. Everything is going to be very formal.
A suit like Frederic right now, like a formal suit?
A formal suit, with a tie and everything. I thought I would have to do that, and I joined the program. And the first day I was wearing a suit,
Did you? All right.
Yeah, I was it was very formal. And I realized really quickly, that was not the case. Like everyone was more relaxed than I thought. I was like, okay, it's way more normal, I would say, than people might imagine from the outside world.
All right, but so it's also like very inclusive. They did accept you with your tie and your
Yeah.
All right,
Can
that's
wear
good.
whatever you want.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Frederick? What would be your cliche?
Well, I already covered that, but a business school like ESCP is definitely not, about cultivating sharks. For two reasons, especially in that program. The first one is that we deal with healthcare and life sciences. So we deal with patients, we deal with health. So, of course, this is industries that are concerned with the well-being of people and with the balance of people. That's the first thing. And the second thing is definitely not, because I think that the work as a group, project leadership, working together, finding synergies is much more important than just, the willingness to succeed, the willingness to grow. And by the way, it's not also antinomic. It can go with it. But once again, when we select people as much about as what they did and what they want to do as on what they are.
So no matter how good of a player you are, it's all about the team spirit that you have.
Absolutely.
That will be.
Once again, I'm turning to Guillaume, who is much more expert than I am, but life science is a very complex field. And when you add to that entrepreneurship or business development and finance, it's even more complex because it's the sedimentation of two fields that are not going well together a priori.
So how do the students work together? That's what we're going to discover through the program. Guillaume, can you walk me through the 15 month? How exactly does it work from, not for the first day to the last day, but kind of, you know what I mean?
So the first semester, the first 4 months, let's start with the first two. You will have classes on marketing, finance. What else did we have? A bit of
Corporate strategy.
Operate strategy. What is the healthcare sector, like the American healthcare system, this kind of thing. So does it works? Market access, drug pricing, this kind of thing. So you have an overview of everything. The first 2 months are in Paris. The second part of the first semester was in London, when we had again same similar courses, but everything was in English back then. Now the new program, the new version is going to be fully in English. You do a lot of team projects with other students, marketing projects, consulting projects, like you're a consultant and you have to work on a specific topic, life science topic, for example. You work for a couple of days, you have to do proposal, like a consultant would do on this job. We're doing things like that. And then the second semester, it's the specialization you choose. So it can be finance, consulting, or marketing. I chose finance, and in finance we had a lot of business development courses, more advanced financial courses like venture capital, private equity, these kind of things, valuation courses, and that lasts for the next 3 months or so, and then you have your internship, 6 months internship. Most of the time is 6 months. It's an internship in the field and the companies that you find that you wanted.
Is it still? Yes.
If you don't mind, I can add two things to your question. The first one is going to London is not just having classes in English. By the way, the program is now fully in English in any case, which was not the case when Guillaume did it, but it's also a completely different ecosystem. You know, the regulations, it's very different. The public bodies react differently. Even the value of life is set very differently. And it's 2 hours from Paris, but you have a completely different state of mind, way of thinking, ecosystem. So that's number one. And the second thing is we have a final business trip as well. which add some internationalization flavor to the program. And we did it with Guillaume in Denmark/Sweden, in northern of Europe. This year we'll go to the Emirates, especially Dubai, to discover the ecosystem, the healthcare ecosystem there.
Because my question was, why is it important for this program to have two different locations? I guess we've just answered that. And what's the added value of this international seminar? As a student, how do you perceive it?
So it's two things. First is to have access to a very broad range of professionals in the life science sector. So a lot of different expertise, a lot of different point of view and knowledge that are shared. The second thing is growing your network. Because thanks to that program, we managed to see executives from different large organizations in life science. There are very, very important people that are very complicated schedule, very hard to find and to get to. And thanks to the program, we were able to talk to these amazing people with amazing experience, and they were willing to share that knowledge. And I think that was the most impactful things that we had for the program.
Is it challenging to go from Paris to London, for example? I mean, on a very concrete level, like finding an accommodation.
Finding accommodation in London is never easy.
All right.
That's for sure, especially when you're a student. You have to account that in your budget. It's not cheap, but it's London. It's a great place. You have to experience that at least once. We all really enjoyed it. And as students, we always like, you can share house to reduce the cost, so it's not really a problem.
How technical is this program?
Oh, it's quite technical. A proof of that is that despite the fact that you kindly emphasize that I'm a PhD, you know, being a PhD in life science and being a PhD in social science is somewhat different, despite the fact that the methodology sometimes can be equivalent. And another proof of that is also that we have a lot of experts, among which many are alumni from the program. And those experts can teach what my colleagues at ESCP Business School or other colleagues in a business school couldn't teach.
All right, so that's perfect for my next question. Who's your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher was Frederic, of course.
Obviously.
Yes.
What I'm going to say is, apart from, I mean, I don't mind it being Frederic. And why then?
No, but about like more seriously,
except Frederic, because Frederic is the best teacher.
No, for
He's
sure.
the academic director. That we all know.
Apart from that,
something we don't know, please.
Yes, I personally really enjoyed Professor Adam Brown. He's an emergency physician in the US. So the courses we had in London with him was about the healthcare ecosystem, the healthcare system and its complexity. And that was very interesting because for us, especially coming from France, the healthcare system in the US is completely different from what we have here. And Professor Brown courses was a full-on week exclusively dedicated to that. We almost had only course with Adam Brown. And it was very impactful. Like we learned a lot, and I still use that knowledge every day, even in my work today. I even introduced Adam to people at the place where I work at now because his knowledge is invaluable, and it was really helpful to tackle the complex US healthcare system with him.
And what to you would be specific to the teachers of this MSc? How different are they from all the studies that you had before?
All the studies that I had before. So coming from academia, for me, back in the days, long ago, the students were less close to the real world, as we say. Most of the students were academics. So they were either researchers or just full-time professors. Here we had a lot of professors, a lot of people that came to give an intervention that are working full-time, having another jobs in the private sector, private companies. And it was really, really interesting to see what their day-to-day job is. And what they teach us is very pragmatic, very operational.
Is there anything you still miss from your time at ESCP?
Something that I miss? Having the luxury to have lectures from, for example, Frederic, but also some high-level executive from companies like Sanofi or Novo Nordisk, for example. it's not every day that you get the luxury to have these people that give you 3 hours of their time to tell us about themselves.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, at some point you will have to write a memoir. How have you helped? Are you going to help the students that will have to write this memoir?
Yeah, so the first thing is I would be incapable to help Guillaume, given his very specific fields I'm not specialized in. But let's say, more generally speaking, a director of thesis is a little bit like a director of thesis in the PhD, which means the first thing would be to define the angle, the research question that you will have to address. That's a very important step. The second one is to help, but just to help information search in terms of literature review. The third one is also very important. It's the methodological process through which you will collect and analyze the data. And last but not least, the general frame and conclusions, further developments.
Do you know what you're going to be writing about your memoir or not?
Before I joined ESCP, I was already very interested about quantum computing and how quantum computing could be leveraged and used in life science. So I'm writing my memoir on that, the use of quantum computing to solve hard problems that we're facing today in life science.
No, I understand why you said that you wouldn't be able to understand everything that is being said in that memoir.
Absolutely. Guillaume is already very gifted in his own field, but on top of the rest is a combination of two fields that are, of course, the future of the world. Quantum computing on one side and biotech on the other.
And maybe one last question before we move on to after. Why is, since you've graduated, I can ask that question. Why is Frédéric a good academic director?
Frédéric's a good academic director.
Or maybe he's not, but like...
No, it's good because a few things. He's always available. You can ask him any question, anytime. He was always here for us, really. He's extremely friendly, good advice, and he also has a very large network connections that is very happy to share and to help us during our career, during our journey. And I found that very, very useful and very nice of him.
Do you agree with your student?
Yes, absolutely. I agree with his compliments, because it flatters me, but I also agree with the fact that I'm a very privileged person, because I did that job more than 20 years and I still love it as in the first day. And the reason why I love that job is relationship, networking, and putting people in contacts. And I think I have the privilege to have people like Guillaume and many others that are clever, well-educated, open-minded, and so on and so forth. So life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful, and what do you do with life once you've graduated? Well, let's discover that with after. Who are the employers of this MSc?
You have many of them. As I said in the introduction, you have, let's say, to be a little bit abrupt and synthetic, 4 main fields of activities, namely biotech, combined with pharmaceutical big groups, companies. You have medtech, you have also finance, you have entrepreneurship, and it goes with consulting, let's say leadership, data science, and the rest. So if I could name some big names, Roche, obviously, will be one. Novo Nordisk will be another one. Sofinnova for Guillaume in the private financial sector is another one. We could have also Bain, McKinsey, Alira Health in the consulting sector. And more, despite the fact that it's a new branch, I would say, companies like, let's say, AWC, Amazon, Google, IBM, and so on and so forth, would also recruit some of our gifted students to be data scientists, to be architects, IT architects, and so on and so forth.
So what's your job today?
So today I'm extremely lucky. I'm an analyst at Sofinova Partners. I started by an internship that I extended. Currently, I'm finishing the extension of my internship. And I'm part of, so Sofinova Partners. What is Sofinova Partners? It's the oldest life science VC. So the venture capital fund specialized in life science. They started in 1972. That was the oldest in the world. It's still the oldest in the world now. They expanded the past few years to multiple strategy of investment strategy across different verticals in life science, and I'm part of the team that specializes in digital medicine. So we invest in companies that leverage data and compute to advance life science. That's yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't.
No, that's
finish.
So my day-to-day job. What do I do with our team? We invest. So as I say, we invest in company leveraging data and compute, and we just talk to entrepreneur, brilliant people every day, and try to see if we can help them. So by providing funds, right, and try to help them build companies that would help people.
In what way is this MSc responsible or partly responsible for the job you have today?
Well, the whole thing. So it's two things mainly. The knowledge I have now in finance that helped me land that job, I did not have that before doing the MSc. So it was very important. The basic of finance, how to read financial statement of a company, these kind of things. I learned that through the program. The other thing is the network as well. Having the network, the connections that make the introduction, for example, to Sofinova, to be able to talk to people and get the interview, to get an internship. It's all thanks to the program.
As an alumnus, what is your link between you and the different other promotions, the one coming and the one before you?
We are pretty close. This master program, the MSM, we have there's a student association called the CADUCE. It's very important. We organize events. Every promotion organize event every year, and that's how we link with the different promotions. So for me, the oldest promotions, I contacted some of them to get information about their job, what they were doing, discuss about the field, what is the field today, either for in consulting or VCs or even in marketing in big pharma companies. And the new ones, so the promotion after me, some of them contacted me to get information about the program, or is the master program is interesting, should I apply, how do I apply, give them feedback. Some of them contacted me for potential interviews. Some of them like, do you have any advice to do this, how do I do to get this internship, these kind of things. So we are a pretty tight, close community, I would say.
So people are, yes.
Can I add something?
You
yes. Can. As a matter of fact, and that's the reason why my life is wonderful, because we have an affectio societatis that is very, very strong, very strong, very strong. So my life is not only beautiful, but simple, because when I called my former students, and Guillaume today is a proof among many others, they usually say yes. No problem. For example, Guillaume followed the track specialized in finance, venture capital, private equity. There is only one exception that is not an alumni from the program. All the teachers, the professors, the experts he met were alumni of the, are still, of course, alumni of the program.
So maybe one day, Guillaume, you will be teaching at ESCP. We still have a bit of time, it's extra time. Extra time to emphasize on something that we've said already, or maybe name something that we haven't said already. I will let you start. What would be your conclusion?
My conclusion is for people that hesitate about doing this kind of program, especially this program, I would encourage them to try. Apply for the program. If you're passionate, if you have a passion for life science, and you want to do something in biopharmaceutical, biotech, or even in finance, in life science sector, you should apply for this program. The main reason is you're going to meet amazing people. you're going to build a network that you would not be able to create outside of that program. It's a unique opportunity.
Thank you very much for making that very clear. Frédéric?
Maybe another aspect I would emphasize is that you open the chakras of your students, because when a very gifted guy like Guillaume is coming to the program, he doesn't know anything about finance, venture capital, consulting, hardly something. So at least what we offer is to open up the eyes of our students among the tons of possibility that are open to them and that they just ignore. For example, pharmacists are more informed about potential career, but they usually think about marketing or medical affairs, despite the fact that there are many more fishes to be fished.
All right, many more fishes to be fished, or opening your chakras. That's what you could do at ESCP Business School with this MSc in Biopharmaceutical Management. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.